Peace, everybody. I'm live. I'm on. Going to be on here with the Maze Feels. I'm super excited. Just so excited. I'm a few minutes early because I'm learning how to be aware of time. Let me do this. I do this. I got this from a nice young lady. I appreciate her. She put me on. Yeah, a little strawberry sorbet. Let me get my questions ready. Invite the greatest CD. No, I'm inviting the Maze Feels TikTok. Don't tell me who to invite. Yeah, so we about to do our Goddess Connect talk with the Maze Feels. She'll be on in a little bit. If she's anything like me, we working out this how this TikTok thing go. So, but I'm excited about our talk. We're gonna talk about divine femininity. We're gonna talk about herbs. We're gonna talk about healing. Healing. I'm so tired of talking about healing. It's happening. It's going to happen. As long as you do the work, it's going to happen, okay? It's not like you just got to put the time in with self. The more you learn to love yourself, the more healing happens. And it doesn't have to be the purpose. The purpose of being here is not healing. Tony Jones said, healing is not my purpose. Tony Jones said, when I wake up, I did the most, okay? I got up. Look. Step one, I got up. Yeah, so, but we're going to talk about, I don't know. I'm not psychic, honestly. When she get here, we're going to talk. Oh. I don't know what to do. Oh, when she get here, we're going to talk. So, but yeah, healing is not the, what we're here for. Hi. I'm trying to get you. That's a thing. I don't know how to request. I'm gonna figure it out. Invite. I don't know how to do it neither. I just said that. If she anything like me, trying to figure out how this go. I know it's a way. Maybe. So I just sent it to you, like, right? Yes, we are. I just sent it to you, I think, in like a message. And maybe from the message you can request. But I'm going to keep. It's people in here. Y'all want to tell us? Teamwork. Here we go. Yes.
Okay.
Peace to the goddess.
Please. How can I? Okay, now I have to turn my camera on. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. There I am. I'm here.
I see. I'm grateful to have you. I don't know exactly, but sometimes I see people on live, and they don't have like the camera part don't work. When I first started going live, my picture didn't show.
Okay, can you see me now?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I'm here. Hi, peace. We did it, right? I said
Yes.
Figure it out. I said we was gonna figure it out.
Yes. How you feeling today?
I'm doing good. I'm healthy. I'm grateful, and I'm tired too. I'm tired.
I ain't gonna hold you too long, and I'm glad you had space for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so so much for having me, and thank you so much for creating this platform so that we can connect like this, because I feel like everyone is so spread out, and I'm just so happy for this platform that we could all come together and share
Yes, I agree.
like-minded thoughts.
That part is so important. And sometimes in with the day to day going on, it's hard to make those connections with real people in real time.
Yes.
I'm leaning more towards learning how to navigate the online community building. Like that's something that's kind of new to me. But it's kind of new to me. Like, okay, so because I'm used to going outside and mingling with the people.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yes.
Listen, same. That's resonate with me. And you know what? Honestly, I just been figuring it out as I go. Like things that I didn't expect like to go viral and
Mhm.
I sometimes look at those how-to videos and
I've
like
been getting some they give these creator insights. I
mhm.
was fiddling around in my inbox and I saw that TikTok shows us how to use like the different creator tools. So that's next on my list. I'm gonna sit with that since I'm gonna be on TikTok as long as we got TikTok.
As
But
long as you got it, right?
without further ado, we have here the Maze Fields. She is a master herbalist and a divine being. And ever since I ever came across her, I have been wanting to like just pick her brain a little bit. Yeah. So you want to introduce yourself further and tell the people a little bit about you?
Yes, thank you so much again for having me. Peace to everybody in the chat. My name is Ayana. I am a restorative practice practitioner. I also am an herbalist, and I am a plant alchemist facilitator. So I'm here to empower women to use my voice to uplift the collective, but to also encourage everyone to tap into herbalism, because herbs and plants and flowers hold one of the highest vibrations on the earth. And I know sometimes it's hard for people to really like not understand that, but grasp the concept of drinking a plant to heal or using a flower to heal. But these things have been utilized for this is our history. This is our ancestry history, and so I'm just happy to be able to use my voice to encourage other people to tap into it, but also use it to connect, right? Because I also feel like it's a tool for me to connect and build community with other people. So I'm a little bit of everything, I guess.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for having me. When I saw the question and we asked me how like I want to identify myself, it was something I had to sit with, because I really I really haven't proclaimed myself as an herbalist. I never said that I was um, like a spiritual coach or anything. I just really started my platform about alchemy, real shit that was happening to me. Can we curse?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm like, TikTok is not gonna
Oh yeah, that part. Let's just be aware.
yeah,
We're
real things
getting
that were happening to me, I'm pretty sure that, we're all a collective. So I'm sure that other people was also experiencing it too. So people get on this app and talk about nothing all day. So why not use it and build community, to support not just you, but also other people.
thanks. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Um, so I guess I'm gonna get into these questions because it's an interview. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, what does divine feminine activation mean to you personally and spiritually?
So I think that it means accepting your wholeness, right? So accepting every part of you, accepting your shadows, accepting the love and the light of you, accepting the darkness, accepting the things that bring us shame, make us feel guilty about the things that people try to trap and put on us, right? Breaking free of all of that, but also accepting it because it's a part of us. And I feel that when you just accept like that feral, unhinged part of being a woman, right? And like accept your raw emotions and understand that you are not always grounded in love, Sometimes you grounded in FU, and that's okay too. I
Facts.
feel like for me, that's what activated my wholeness, my femininity, my divine feminine. And I know divine feminine means different things for everyone in the collective, but from my perspective, this is what it means to me. Truly.
Yes. I love that. I do an event every year in November called the Cosmic Goddess Retreat.
Mm.
And this year we're going to Puerto Rico. This every year we have a theme, and our theme this year is living in our divine holiness. And holiness requires wholeness. So the plan is to we do elemental workshops. Like we connect the element to a workshop. We get we do our hoodoo thing, but we have fun. It's a little sophisticated because I am who I am, but
Yes. Yes.
that's a part of our wholeness, right? And what you said about acceptance. So I was struggling with rage. And
Mm.
rage is an emotion that Black women don't necessarily
Feel
are
that.
not allowed. I hate to say allowed, but don't have are not permitted to explore. And our rage is so sacred. It's so divine. It is the fuel for the things that we desire for our will, our passion. Like that fire, our internal fire has to be honored. So for you to, I love that you spoke to wholeness because we've been taught to put this over here, but no, fuck that. Decompartmentalize.
Exactly.
It's time to become whole so that we can exist wholly. We're holy out here. And not being open to the fullness of emotion is keeping us trapped. It's
Yes.
keeping us trapped. And that's definitely
Yes.
that's what the divine feminine represents to me too. Just being whole, not being a 50-50, being 100-100. You know what I'm saying? Like being complete. And this is soul work. I try to say this each time I speak publicly or whatever. This is soul work. The soul desires the fullness of the experience, and that means that we got to feel all of it, even when it don't feel good. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I want to say, you said something about us giving ourselves permission to feel all of our emotions. And although I like to think of myself as highly emotionally intelligent, feeling all of my emotions is still something that on a daily that I'm challenged with.
Same.
Sometimes I have emotions and I don't want to feel them shits, and I like push them off. But now where I am in my spiritual journey, it's like you know better, you do better. So I'm faced to deal with them shits. And when I don't want to deal with it, I'm faced to process them. I'm faced to put them on the table. And, I just think is a reminder that like we are not in this physical reality by ourselves. And today I got the download about this is crazy we having this conversation, first of all. This is alignment right here.
Yes. This
Well,
is where I've
this
been
is
from
alignment.
days.
This is alignment of something that came up for me today. I was feeling something heavy, and I was kind of resistant, not resistant, but I was doing everything to not really like deal with it. And so finally I sat with it, and when I sat with it, me and Spirit, the conversation that was coming up was you don't want to deal with it because you feel like you got to deal with everything on your own. Although you've been on this journey, although you have reassurance, although you know this, you are grounded in truth and all the knowledge you have, you still feel like you got to carry everything. And that's like trauma, right? That's trauma. Like always being in survival mode, always feeling like you got to carry some shit. But when you tap into your spirituality, you know that you're not alone and that you could offset some of that shit, but it's a constant daily reminder. It's definitely a constant daily reminder.
Yeah.
Like for me, like because it's easy to get trapped into previous mindsets
That part.
that I gotta carry everything alone.
That part.
I mean,
It's a work. I just posted that today. People don't talk about the work that has to go into changing your mindset. Like it's a grief process. It's a breaking and a rebuilding. It's like being born over. It's so many layers to becoming whole,
Yes.
becoming whole and putting those pieces back together.
Hmm.
Yep. And it comes up. And we got to be patient with ourselves. Got to be compassionate with ourselves. We got to give ourselves grace. Like we have all the things we do for those that we carry for,
Yep.
the things that we have to do for ourselves. Absolutely. Um, Next question. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
loving this show.
Do your thing.
Um,
Yeah.
in your opinion, what role does ancestral memory play in activating feminine power?
It's wow. Pivotal. I feel like, and on a spiritual journey, I feel like knowing your ancestral history, having an ancestral reading is a pivotal first step. I think that, at least it was for me on my journey, right? Like that was where I started. Well, that was one of the steps that I started. I didn't choose a spiritual awakening. I did not choose a spiritual journey. I was just out here existing in the matrix, okay? In my ego, in my trauma, in my shit. And one day everything just shattered. That's what it just shattered and it crumbled and it was no more.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm going crazy. And I did go crazy for a second, right?
Yeah,
I did
it's
go
going
crazy.
crazy to come back.
I had to like literally shed every part of me and break myself all the way down, right? But damn, what did you say? What was the question you said?
How is ancestral memory connected to
Oh,
feminine power?
so that was one of the first steps that I got an ancestral reading. And when I got the ancestral reading, I always been spiritual based. Like I was raised Muslim. I was raised heavy in religion, but I also always been into astrology and I've been had my birth chart and I always knew that this was some bullshit reality and that there was more to
Mm-hmm.
what I could see with my two eyes, right? And so when I got the ancestral reading, I was like, this is some bullshit, but wow, wait a minute. This is actually truth, like a lot of it broke down like characteristics of me, right? Patterns of me that were connected to like my ancestors, like my ancestral history.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it was about like mental health and just like mindset and depression, addiction, all things that are very real in my family, right? Which was passed down to me, right, through
Right.
DNA,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so a lot of it wasn't anything that was like far fetched. You know what I'm saying? That made me be like, this is some bullshit. It was like real things that I was able to identify and say, and the reader was like, if you don't fix this shit, it's gonna succumb to you. You know what? It's gonna succumb you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, at that point, I was already spirit initiated, and I was just,
Right.
I
Right.
was in isolation. Literally, before I had my spiritual awakening, I got a download to leave New York and go to Houston. I didn't know anybody in Houston. I never been there ever. I just packed my shit up, sold everything in my apartment. My parents was like, okay, because that's how I operate anyway. So they're just like, whatever. Like my family is like, just do you. Like I left. When I got to Houston, I was just living my life, and then I had this awakening, and I was by myself in isolation, and a lot of what came up in the reading started to like come into reality.
So you can see it. Now you can see it.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Absolutely. I started with my ancestors. I was scared to do anything else. And my mom transitioned when I was young, so that was kind of easy for me to jump into an ancestor altar. So And I know like my matriarchal bloodline, they hold me, they push me, they guide me, they like like it's just like a knowing.
Knowing,
The
yeah,
closer I get to, I've been having like with the family is not feeling me. I'm on the great mother. I'm talking about the goddess. I'm talking, they are not feeling me.
no,
My ancestors is like, go, go, go. Gotta go. God, this is what has to happen. So, yep, I feel you on that. But the spiritual awakening, right? So, how I see it is, it happens over time. It'd be like breadcrumbs. Because I know for me, and I'm sure for you, because which is the collective, we can sit here now and look back to way back when and see the dots that slowly connected to get us to this place.
yes,
Spiritual awakening happens over years and days, and because it's time is not linear, so we reach back and we get it, that good old Saint Kofa, you know what I'm talking about.
yes. I
So
say, I
mhm.
say, yes.
But
We remember,
we do,
we remember, like,
it's in the genes.
right, right, yep.
Let's see, what are what are some common things you've seen women face when trying to connect with their feminine energy?
What are some common things?
Some things that women face when trying to connect with their feminine energy, and how do you think they can be released?
I think acceptance, not accepting all parts of them, right? I think that women, we get trapped there, especially like when it comes to like sexuality, intimacy, and spirituality. Um, Especially within our community, right? There's a lot of shame around sexuality. There's a lot of shame around being sexy. There's a lot of shame around sex. So I think that um, those are one of the things that may hinder, right, or put a block in the road when you're on your journey, right? Accepting that, but also like healing from the trauma, right, around sexuality, but also the parts about us that we feel insecure about, right? The parts about ourselves that are not good, right? The narcissism parts, the jealousy parts, right? Things that are real emotions, right? Because those are also real emotion. Jealousy is an emotion that everyone has, right? It's just people who've mastered it and people who hasn't, right?
Right,
People who
right.
and was able to identify it, and people who have not, who haven't reached it. So I think accepting and being a realist, right? Like, okay, I'm working through shit. I don't know everything, right? Like they always say, the teacher leaves or the student leaves when the teacher leaves when the student shows up, or something like
Mhm.
that. But I think we're always the teacher and we're always the student, right? Being always open to learn
Right.
and have ego deaths,
Yeah.
because I saw something the other day. Someone was saying they don't believe in ego deaths. Like, there's no way to like kill the ego. And I just was talking to my brother and I was telling him, Jay Z has a line where he said, "No matter where you go, you are what you are." Like you could try to change, but
Mhm.
that's just a top layer. Like you was who you was before you got here, and like I wholeheartedly believe that. Like who I am right now in this moment, talking to you, I'm this person, but
Right.
I also have other sides to me, right? That people might not like those other sides, right? But that's a part of me, and I think when you accept that about yourself, it also opens you up to accept other people, because it's like, okay, accept other people, and also be always open to hear other people, even if you may not like one thing the person said. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean I don't like you, right? I just don't. I didn't agree with that part of you. So once you can accept those things about yourself, I think that it sets the precedent for you to be able to accept other people.
That's the work, baby. That's facts.
Like it start with you first, for real.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is really, and I said this in a video yesterday, like we have a responsibility to be accountable to ourselves. I think that's another challenge that women face, being accountable. I mean, like And
Especially to ourselves.
especially to ourselves, right? Like
Show up on time, ready for everybody's stuff, except for our own. Ready to,
rejection.
yeah.
Yeah,
What they
yeah,
say, clean up your own. Make sure your backyard is clean before you start. Yeah.
right. And
Yep.
but then also was like make sure like even if it's not clean, like you ready to stand on your shit and be like, yeah,
And
I
we
did
own it.
that, or yeah, that was me. You know what I'm
Own
saying?
it.
Like, yeah, all right, I was not the best person when I did that. No, I was not my best self. What?
That's
Cause,
right.
cause, cause for real, what the fuck? What? I was not my best self. What are we gonna do about it? That's it.
I see the ego death, and it's more like it's the shadow work, right? It's when we integrate our shadow into our light and we get back to wholeness. It's always going to come back to wholeness. Ashe.
I say exactly.
So let's get into these herbs though.
Okay.
um how did your journey begin with herbs, and what drew you to this path?
So I always been a tea drinker. I'm not a coffee girl. Always been a tea drinker. And honestly, when people ask me about this, is like it was really all a spiritual journey. Like it was really all a spiritual experience. Right? Like so I know that in my bloodline, like my aunt Bonnie, she was a herbalist, right? Like she had a farm. She did root work. Right now, my grandmother, my great grandmother was heavily in the church. I think my grandmother was practicing hoodoo. I think that's what I believe. My grandmother Ross. Now, I was always into like wellness and healthy eating and things like that. So, but the herbs part and how I came about this euphoric flows, I was literally in my house on the floor, feeling hopeless, feeling lonely, crying, feeling like in a dark ass place. This is when I didn't know I was doing shadow work, right? But now I know what was happening, right? I was in there facing those shadows. A lot of things that I had tucked away was coming up to the surface. And I really was crying out at before I really started crying out this day. I had created like an altar. I would say I created an altar, and I was trying to like connect with my ancestors, but I didn't feel like they was coming through. I was getting frustrated. I was like, this is bullshit, like so. This particular night, I was like crying out an agony, okay? Like from the pits of me saying, you know, calling on my ancestors, calling on my bloodline, calling on my spirit guides. I said, I need comfort. I need love right now. I need something to comfort me. And I kid you not, okay? I had all these herbs in my kitchen. I don't even know why I had all these herbs. Like I had just was buying them. Like I was just buying them, and I had them. 3 years before that, I did have a vision that I wanted to start a tea line. There was this girl I used to follow. She had tea and candles, and I did go to her workshop. So I want to say it was a seed that I planted. I did plant the seed, and I went in the kitchen and literally I picked out these three herbs: the hibiscus, rosemary, and rose. I put them all together. I made this cup of tea, and it just really gave me. It felt like a hug. It felt like my grandmother herself was hugging me. Like I just felt
Oh,
so comforted.
yes.
Okay, like and I didn't. There was no recipe. I just mixed it, and then from there I don't even know how I got the idea. At that time, I had a candle line. I was selling candles and bath salts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was drinking this tea. I started drinking it, and because of how it was making me feel, like just an overall feeling of well-being, that's where I got the name Euphoric Flows from. Because euphoria is like overall well-being. And from there,
Here we go.
I was the start. But I can tell you to this day, I don't know who gave me the recipe, but
Uh-huh.
my grandmother definitely came through and blessed me with this because I didn't make this shit up. I know that.
They come. When you call, they come.
Yes.
Um,
And from that day, I never stopped. I never stopped tapping in.
Shay,
My shame.
grateful to have you in the space.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm. What what herbs are most central in your practice and why? Like your main.
So I use a lot of I use rose. Rose is one of my main herbs. I use it for feminine balance, self love rituals. Put it in oils. I drink it. I use it for my face. I love rose. It's just divine. It has one of the highest frequencies, and it is the frequency of a goddess, right? So I use that to really ground myself um, for stress, anxiety, depression, valerian roots, St. John's wort, ashwagandha, um, lemon balm, chamomile, lavender. Those are my 7 go-to herbs. I take them daily, once a day. Like if I needed to take something for depression, a pill, that's how I take these herbs. Like it would be for that. And they really have just helped me to um, balance out my mental health, my mindfulness, right, and ground myself in harmony, right. Um, and I believe in the healing power of herbs because they've healed me, right? They've healed me. Of course, there was that other work that had to be done, But as far as this being a tool to assist, for sure, for sure. Herbs hold a special need, and it's really hard to like for me. It's really hard to for my business. I would say it's really hard for me to land that, like to ground it, because it's. I feel like when people have that belief already, they'll come to my business. Like I don't really feel like it's something to promote because I do feel like it's a sacred practice, right? It's a ritual and it's very intentional. So I feel cringy sometimes, even like promoting like herbs, loose leaf herbs, because I feel like it's a sacred thing, right? And then when you believe in it, you're gonna get what you need.
Facts. That's big facts.
That's it. That's just
It's going what's for you is for you, and it's going to get you going to get it.
exactly.
I implore you to get out here and be like herbs, sacred herbs. 'Cause the hood need them herbs, and they need to know why.
Yeah.
Why? This is why.
Yeah.
Tell them anyway, and do it even if it feel cringy, because the way to save our people is to be blatant and in our face, because we require a level of directness so that we can get them up, so that we can get the picture. You know what I'm saying?
Ashe.
Yes.
I appreciate that because you're absolutely correct.
I've been struggling with that. Like spirituality, it's so personal and so intimate. All of it. It's super sacred. What you said. It's so sacred. And I keep feeling the push from my spirit team. Like you gotta get out there. Mama, you gotta get out there. And I'm like, I'm getting out there. They like, no, you're not. You fucking around. I really gotta. So, I was watching. I don't remember what I was watching, but I know what the message I received was: do it anyway, say it anyway. Like when it come up, say it, and don't be afraid of how somebody else gonna perceive it, because you. So this herbs is your superpower, right? This is what the Most High gave you.
Right.
Right. So it's yours to use how you see fit. And as long as you keep it sacred, it's always going to be sacred.
Ashe.
That's it.
Ashe.
That's it.
I
But
appreciate
yeah,
that.
because
Yeah.
I've been having a fit. Like, how? I put that oil recipe. I got on here. You did this. You did this. I opened my phone. The first thing, it was like, do the witchcraft, sis. I was like, okay, all right. I had just came out of prayer. Open my phone. Do the witchcraft, sis. I'm like, do the witchcraft. I'm gonna do it. I'm about to do it right now. But do I gotta do it on the internet? And they like, you gotta do it on the internet because it's for the people. Like that protection oil, something has been pressing me to push protection on. Like a lot of us believe that push protection on. Like a lot of us believe that everybody love us. A lot of us believe that people that love us cannot have misaligned intentions surrounding us. And it don't even be, sometimes it don't be on them. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know they're giving you the evil eye, but it is what it is. Like that's the energy. They could genuinely love you and still be putting the evil eye on your shit. So protection is paramount.
Yes.
But yeah, do the witchcraft, sis.
Yes.
Oh, you want to talk a little bit about the your hoodoo workshop?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it because the honesty. So honestly, sis, like planning something like that of that magnitude, it does take a lot of um, marketing for it to be successful, and I feel like I don't feel like I did my diligence with the marketing, right? And so I was really excited to collaborate with Key to put it on, but we're thinking that we're gonna postpone it because we didn't do as well as we thought. We didn't get the numbers, and so um, I felt like okay, well, that I felt like these TED Talk type of theme, right? Um, Workshops or community workshops was like a good place for us to build community, to build a sacred space also. So there was a whole screening process that folks had to go through. And I'm not sure how people felt about that because one of the questions was that you have to upload a photo, like a selfie. But that's because hoodoo was a closed practice, right? So and then I also went back and forth with the pricing about it, right? But I felt like because we were offering a practitioner's box, but also a wealth of knowledge. Like this woman, like her teachings and her knowledge, it's from her ancestors, right? Like, and they were living like her grandmother literally passed these things down to her, right? So, and she wrote a book about it, right? And people can go buy the book, or you can come to the workshop or have both, right? And so I also went back and forth about that, right? Like putting a price on something that's sacred, right? And making a profit off of it. I think that it didn't do well because I didn't feel confident that I should be doing that shit.
Where did the idea come from?
It came from the witchcraft video. And so I felt like I was feeling a need, right? Because there was so many comments about people looking for direction. So I'm like, okay, well, I have the community and I know the person, right? And I have the resources where I can put everything together, right, to make this happen. So I want to say that I had to also keep checking myself that it wasn't based in me making a profit, right? But I also was like, I want to make a profit from it, right? Like I'm putting money into this, like me buying the supplies, me spending my time. That's all time, but then it's also like this is sacred.
So on sacred spaces, right? I feel that I do the retreat. This will be my third time. The first time I did it, because all the things that you said, I've been taking my notes. All the things that you said spoke to this experience I've been having over the anxiety is through on 1,000 always.
Yes.
That's
why I'm
first
using
year, I pulled together a weekend retreat in 30 days. I called who I knew could assist, who all showed up was supposed to be there. The majority of the people that showed up were a part of the production, but sisterhood still happened, connections. Then we did sell a few tickets. My overhead was way more than I expected it to be. The event didn't pay for, I paid for the event. The event didn't pay for anything, respectfully. But that, I felt like I was ordained to do that. Like I felt a pulling from a great feminine energy. That's why it's called the Cosmic Goddess Retreat. I had a meditation transportation, and I was taken to primordial water. And all the mothers, all the ancestors, because I work for the ancestors, but it was a mother. It was a mother telling me, like, this is what it's time. It's time for women to step into their power. It's time for women to use their voices. It's time for women to uplift other women. And we're not doing this for the women. We're doing this for the children. We have to empower the women to save the children, right? So that's why that was the call I received. Okay. And so the first year, I was way upside down. Okay. Last year, the second year, I felt the same way. And I did it in 60 days this time, right? So I felt the same way, like, damn, I didn't give myself enough time. I didn't, and I was doing a lot of bartering, trying to like cut down costs, but it was costing me more because when you barter with somebody, they get to have the experience and you don't pay, and they don't pay respectfully. They don't pay into it monetarily. So it doesn't go into the bill. Right. But last year was a lesson learned, right? So this your first one, the Hoodoo. Yes. Okay, say the name of it because I want to say it right.
Foundations of Hoodoo.
Foundations of Hoodoo.
Yeah. So, and it was gonna be virtual. It was a virtual workshop.
I'm still trying to figure out virtual. I do the retreat also because it's in person.
Yeah.
We can be very intimate. We can share those things that we wouldn't share. We know what we can and can't share.
Exactly.
Like I can give y'all the fiery wall of protection recipe, but I can't give you the ritual. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like I can give you this, but I can't do that for you in open space. So that's why. And I think, so Foundations of Hoodoo is a beautiful thing because it gives that, it's private and it's screened, and do it. If you sell one ticket, the show must go on. Because
I know.
So
I thank you for that. Thank you for that empowerment and that encouragement. But also thank you for sharing from your perspective what it's been like doing these retreats, because that's fire, right? That's dope. For sure. And congratulations on that.
Thank you. Stresses me.
I really hope that I could join you.
So we're doing I would love to have you there. I'm gonna send you something in your inbox, but for the month of May, because May is for the mamas, and the month of May we're gonna do 33% off. So that brings the price down crazy. But I wanted to say, so as you go along with Foundations of Hoodoo, each time, give yourself more time. Like this year, we started promoting in February. So now we got February, and everything should be paid by September. And then October, November. And when I say everyone should be paid, then I still have 2 months to just do the event, get that, lock into this, lock in this, get. So, but just give yourself time, be patient with you. And when they say do it, just do it.
I know. And you know what?
Do it anyway, because they're going to be.
It's so crazy because, like, the witchcraft video, every time, like, I have these videos.
That was beautiful.
You know what spirit is working through you, and you just like, okay, it's really not my show. Okay. All right.
That's why I just do it.
So that's exactly what happened. Like, it was like, no, okay, this is what you got to do. And I was like, but the labor that I have to put into it, I was resistant to it. I was like, it's too many logistical pieces. It's just me. And it's like, okay, you do that shit for work, right? When you was working, you know how to do it. So
cancel every week.
You already got the skills.
Here.
It's like, You already got the skills, just do it. So I put it out there, and I did think that I'm like, okay, six. We did 6 weeks remote, but that's not enough time. Like I feel like, yeah, I feel like a good more in advance for people to lock in. But now I have all of this product. I'm just gonna put it on my shop, and people want to just buy a practitioner's box of their personal rituals. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with this product?
It works. It's still going. It's going to move. Someone is going to need it and get it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'll be like, sometimes I'm like, the spirit, like, y'all be fucking with me? Like, y'all want to see if I.
They be trying to push you to the limit, yo. But I know,
And I think it's more so like, yeah, because you are doubting yourself and you are putting limits on yourself. So are you gonna push past this limit?
and you are,
Right.
you are. And if you don't, they're gonna shove you past. I say that in my prayer. I be like, pull me when I can't, push me when I can't, because or push me when I don't, push me when I need to, so I stumble into it. Look, that's the whole point, right? The guidance. Y'all guiding me. Sometimes the guide got to pull you in there.
That's what I say. Be aggressive with me.
Yes,
Okay?
please.
With
No,
me, because I'm stubborn.
I'm
Okay?
so,
Slap me.
I'm
You
so.
might need to slap me. They know. They know. You might need to slap me a couple of
They
times.
don't pull punches with me. That's not the
Listen.
one. We tried it nice with her. She's fucking hard headed.
Oh my goodness. Okay, like, and you know, like daily, me saying every day, like I surrender, because I am so just like stuck in my comfortability sometimes. So, but I feel so good when I push past my comfortability. Like now, that's a challenge for me. If I'm comfortable with something, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna? I gotta get uncomfortable because, like,
Comfort is a trap because you know how I was raised in church, and the flesh is weak, and the flesh is weak, and the flesh wants the flesh this and the flesh that. But the flesh wants the comfortability. The flesh wants us to stay on the couch. The flesh wants us to keep scrolling on our phones. The flesh wants us to look at what everybody else is doing because that feels good. It feels good to look out and see what everybody else is doing and not have to look within and see what you're doing. So getting out of that comfortability
yeah,
is, I say it all the time. Like that's why we don't have all them revolutionaries no more because motherfuckers is not really willing to give up their creature comforts.
yeah,
We get on our soapboxes and scream, but we screaming from right here.
right,
Like
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So breaking the comfort. I wrote I got sticky notes all over my apartment just to like keep me going, push me, get up, do this, do that, do this. But one of them definitely says, make me not afraid to lose my comfortability
Yes,
because it keeps us in a place like a lull.
it keeps you small.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Like even me being more like um presenting more so on my platform, speaking more spiritual, like from a spiritual perspective. Because I feel like my videos always like they came from a more of like a EQ place, not so much spiritual base. Because I never wanted to come on here with my spiritual beliefs because I never wanted to have smoke with nobody on here. I see people get into it all the time. That's not how you do things. That's not how you blah blah blah. That's not this. And so I played it kind of safe on here, right? But now I don't know. Spirit is bringing out a new character,
Yep.
a new character.
The one that's
That's
look, pick a side and stand on it and stand
yes.
firm on it. This how I
That
told
is
you, then that's what it is.
that's the character. And I just said
Yeah.
this to my brother just now. Like I said, if it's fuck me, then fuck you. Okay, and that's the way I like it. That is the character that is emerging right now, and I'm like, I do feel that I am tapping down into my dark feminine energy.
Me too, and I like it.
Me too. Wait a
I
minute.
like
Hold on.
it. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. This is what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes.
I did
Yes.
something.
And standing on it, because there have been times when I have said things on here, then I deleted it.
Me too.
Or I kept it as a friend. And I'm like, nah. Like, I need to say this. Like, and I need to leave it. Stick.
Hear this? Y'all hear this out there? You are
All
not
y'all
alone.
listening.
You are not alone. We are all in this place of
Yes.
stepping into our divine holiness.
Yes.
And that requires wholeness.
Yes. And daily reminder every day. Daily, every day. Every day.
Exactly where we are. Mm-mm-mm.
Yes. Wow. Ashe. Confirmation. Alignment. Okay? Yes. Yes, sis. I'm
This is
telling
gonna be epic.
you. Right? Like, yes. That's where I'm at. Yes.
Do you if so, do you work oh yeah. Do you work with plant spirits or intuitive plant medicines like maybe tobacco, cannabis, hop mushrooms?
Yes. I was working with fungi. I was working with golden teachers and albino penis.
Okay.
So on my journey, um, golden teachers was my first. I want to say that was part of my first awakening, and I think that I'm an advocate for fungi
Me too.
medicine. I'm an advocate for psilocybin. I do think that you should do it responsibly. I don't think that is something that people should take advantage of. It is sacred, and it got some shit in them. Okay, that's like okay. You want
Yeah.
to?
I
If
sit with the
you
medicine. I definitely I do plant medicine ceremonies. I do small groups or one-on-ones. I call it flight attendant, but I'm a flight
okay,
attendant for when people go on their trips. I have a thing I do called the quick trip. Um, Golden teachers
I
taught
love
me
it.
about really being light, like the weight of love. Love should be light. We should be light in our heart. Real life, I have traveled, but yes.
Yes. And so those are the pieces, those are the things that I don't talk about on here.
Right.
You understand?
Mm.
And those are the things I'm still, I don't know, I feel like that was a very sacred time for me. Right? And I feel like if I was to say some of the things out loud, right, and you have not experienced it, you might look at me crazy, right? And I don't think that is, I think that is a beautiful experience, but that's what it was for me, right? And so I always tell people, like, if it's something you're looking into and exploring, do it with intention, you know, do it with um, clarity and understanding, but also be ready to shatter because it is a deep, uh, it is a deep, um, emotional, just experience,
Yeah.
and it feels like you are crawling out of your fucking skin, like literally, like you coming out, like every time I see Venom. Yo, every time I see, have you seen the movie Venom?
Yes, I love it. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man.
Me too. I love Venom.
Yeah.
Okay, but every time I see the thing coming out of him, I'm like, yo, that's exactly what the shit is like.
I say that too. It become a symbiotic. It's like having it's like having um,
Yes.
a guest that reveals so many things that can take you so many places. And I also tell people with plant medicine, the real trip don't start until the trip is over. Like the
Me.
synchronicities and the signs is because it heightens our emotion, but it heightens our intuition and our connectivity to the all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
do I think more people should be open minded to plant medicine, even as a microdose, or
Right.
or
Yeah.
go on retreat. My retreat has a plant medicine ceremony, but
Oh, okay.
but
Yes.
just being more open to those different modalities of healing. Cause
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And another one is cacao. I work a lot with cacao as well. That's a really feminine healing plant as well, and it just also has so many good grounding properties in cacao. So that's another one. But yeah, if y'all thinking about going on a a fungi journey, maybe, and I see so many talks about like how people like, you know, how people are initiated, right, in
Mhm.
spirituality, how people go through certain initiations, but nobody really talks about being initiated by spirit, right? And like, thank you for touching on that, because there is a lot of us out there like that, and I don't think that there's enough spaces for us to speak on it, because it's like it's not founded in traditional initiation.
It's ancestral.
It is.
It's and if you're here today,
Exactly.
you have always been here. There's never not been a time when man was that your bloodline wasn't here. And the way this awakening, people, first things first, I want to say, take your spirituality off the internet and get real with yourself. Because when you really do the work, the initiations happen. I have had a full blown graduation complete with Beyonce music, and angels come down to see me. Ancients and elders come down to see me. Like, hold on, they making me verify that slide. Hold on, I gotta verify that I'm still on here, I guess. Like they're not ear hustling. Anyway. But those things happen for us because we're not still. I was just talking to my brother about that yesterday. Like, at the core of all of us, we're tribal. There are tribes of people that we are connected to. Whether we are still in touch with our tribe or we are out here on an individual journey, which we all are, it's ancestral. Can nobody tell me about the fire council that gave me the name? Can nobody tell me about the ancients and the angels that came down to walk me through initiation? Can nobody tell me? And I'm not always on plant medicine because I don't do anything every day. Can't
Exactly.
nobody tell me about spirit leading me to have fires every week, and at the end of those fires being having revealed to me fucking astral airfield where Merkabas are taking off and going up. Initiation needs nuts, because what the ancestors then gave to me, I feel far outranks whatever the fuck y'all talking about, arguing about, egoing
Exactly.
about.
Exactly. Egoing about.
So
And
yeah, because
I um I also feel like if if you are a person that proclaims that spirituality is real, then you also understand that ancestral um, bloodline and spirit initiation is very much a real thing, very much. And I think that it happened more than often to so many people, but people probably slip into psychosis,
yeah.
and they never come back because they don't know what the fuck is happening.
I was going to say, can we talk about that? The slippery slope
Yes,
between spiritual awakening and
yes,
spiritual psychosis?
absolutely. Thank you, because we shouldn't even. Yes, that need to be talked about more too.
Yeah.
So thank you for
Because
making
we're
it.
so closed minded, because we're so indoctrinated into structured religion, we can't see the gifts and the when our people come online and what the need is for whatever however they're presenting. Like, yeah, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And having elders, like I go see my elders, I talk to them, I sit at the feet. Um, Having elders to be able to help us identify those things, because when clairaudience come and you hear that, it's like what? What? I be in my mind, something will say, blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not doing this today. Get out of here. But somebody else might say I'm schizoaffective. So,
Right.
like, those things. But psychosis at that dark night of the soul, that dark night of the soul is either going to make you or it's going to break you.
Baby, I thought, listen, I was about to clock check myself in. Okay? I said, if I don't make it out this shit tomorrow morning, okay?
Yep.
It was crazy. It was
Yep.
so
Yes. I felt one
wow.
time I was in such a state. I felt my ancestors like pick me back, put me on my feet. I was at my altar and I felt so broken and I was just being like put back up on my feet. That it takes you there. Doing that, the real work, people,
Yes.
spirituality ain't got no aesthetic.
No.
Spirituality does
No.
not
It was not pretty.
no, it's
Okay, it was
not.
not pretty
It's
rose.
not.
There was a lot of chaos, a lot of
Ooh, you took me somewhere.
uh,
Yes.
stripping of everything. Okay, like I've been on this journey now. This is going into year 4. Like what the things I had when I first had this awakening are no more. The person I don't even know. Sometimes I'll be looking at videos and I just be like, "Did you fucking die? Like you died for real? Like you died."
And
And like my
yeah.
family is like, they see me physically here, but for me, I'm like, I died.
Yep. And the real life rebirth.
Yes,
Yes, it happens. The resurrection is real, and it happens in here, and it
I
happens up here, and it happens in here.
like conscious Ashe.
I
Ashe.
just because I want to make sure that I stay time conscious. It's 9:30. Would you, with wisdom, would you offer to someone beginning their journey, both in herbalism and their feminine spiritual work?
Trust yourself. Um, I think often before we remember who we are, right, we're all conditioned to look outside of ourselves for our power, for answers, right? Um, so I encourage everyone to remembering who you are is remembering your power within, and also remembering that you have all the answers. And that's not coming from like an egotistical place. That's for real because each of us are a piece of a consciousness. So that means that we already got the answers for what we supposed to be doing in our purpose because it's our purpose, right? Like your purpose is not my purpose is not your purpose. So we can share and we can share parallels, right? To reassure that we're not fucking going crazy, that we're not right, right, that what is happening to us is being validated. But I think that when it comes down to um, the path that we walk, how we do things, right? That's true to who we are and our intentions and our bloodlines and our ancestral history. Um, and so when people feel like, is there a book? You are the book.
You are
You
the
are the book, right? But um, herbs really help me to quiet my mind. Plant medicine helped me to push the bullshit out of my mind. And it recalibrated my mind. And then using the herbs on a daily basis helps me to sustain that grounding that I need so that I could be able to tap into my power, my ancestors, my spirit team. When your mind is loud, when your mind is chaotic, um, right? When you're not in survival mode, which we all don't have the privilege to not be in, right? You can't think and you can't hear. And you when you have a nervous system that's disarrayed, you can't connect with anything outside of you because your nervous system is fucked, right? So these herbs are tools to help us to quiet our minds, restore our nervous system, so that we could be able to tap into our power, our ancestors, and our blood. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, I guess tell the people all the places they can find you, all the things you have going on.
Yes. Um, Foundations of Hoodoo, we are still live for now. The date that we have is May 7th. This is a practical workshop where you can come and gain knowledge, sacred knowledge, learn practical tools to tap in with your ancestors, to tap in with your power. Um, Tickets are still live on my Etsy shop. And also, I have herbs on my Etsy shop. I have a third eye blend. This is supportive for meditation, for tapping into realms.
Mm.
This is a good one. This also has valerian root in it, which is good for like PTSD. Um, and then I also have a goddess elixir. This is a superfood adaptogenic honey, so it has ashwagandha, maca, and lion's mane, which is a medicinal um, plant medicine.
It's in my cart right now. As soon as I get my paycheck, I'm cashing out.
Yes, 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 yes. These are all tools that I use on a daily basis. But y'all can find me here on TikTok. My Etsy shop is linked in my TikTok. Also, you can find me on Instagram. I'm not as active on there. I really hate Instagram. But TikTok, I have a YouTube, but I only have like a couple of videos up. And you know what I'm getting acclimated to, which I really like, Threads. Are you on there?
I deleted the app from my phone because
Okay.
you know how Facebook, Instagram, and Threads tell you to go to each other app. Like I'll be on something here, I'll hit this, and it'll take me to Threads, and I was like, I'm tired of going to Threads. Without, yeah. So I don't have like if I'm on Instagram because I do a lot on Instagram. If I'm on Instagram, it'll be like so and so posted a thread you might like. And
Which
I'll check it. Not thinking, huh? My Instagram is the Gemini RX.
Okay, I'm gonna find you on there.
I think I followed you on Instagram, and my personal Instagram is it's not personal, but it's the Hood Oracle.
Okay.
So,
Wait, did I see you on there?
I don't know. I just start. I don't really. I be on there, but I don't be on there.
Me either.
Yeah.
Me either. I really have a love and hate relationship with Instagram.
Yeah, me too. I found you on Instagram, but I was like, this is my TikTok.
You
feel like
you initially found me on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. TikTok. No, I found you. I met you on TikTok, but a couple of days ago, I was like, let me find this Instagram.
Oh, so, yeah. Instagram is just, yeah.
I've been taking my TikTok shenanigans over there.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like Instagram is just one of those things. Also, like you gotta bulldoze it and be in people's faces because it is just There's a lot of dead souls over there.
Yeah, all of it is what you make it, and we build these. That's the part that I have to continue to remind myself. We build our algorithms, so it's what we consume is what we gonna get, and if we don't like what we're getting, then we gotta change some things.
Right. You put out what you receive, absolutely true.
Right.
Or what you receive, put out.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for holding space for me.
Absolutely. Thank y'all, everybody who watched us.
Yes.
Mama Hita, Gemini, the Gemini RX, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday for Goddess Connect.
All right. Peace, Mama Nika. Thank you so much.
Thank you.